I remember I had a instance in my life where my grandmother passed away, and when I was at the wake, I found out that a very important, special person in my life had taken their own life
Mm.
at my grandmother's wake.
At the wake.
Someone came up to me,
Told
said,
you
"Hey,
that.
I just want you to know so-and-so did this." And I remember the next day, I tried cocaine. Well, like I needed to admit, like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stay stopped. And I need help. And they say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. I made a phone call to somebody. And that's what like I learned is like humble yourself.
Mm.
Like ask for help. Right? So I called somebody. I was like, "Hey, like embarrassed to say it. Hey, like I want to go get high."
Mm.
Like it was a Friday. I started working again. I had some money. Like I had the plan.
Well, today's exchange is with Joe Loguidice, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Loguidice.
Loguidice. Today's exchange is with Joe Loguidice, realtor, entrepreneur, contractor, right? You said you
General
do general contractor.
Yeah, commercial.
You said you're good with your hands. You grew up in Old Wethersfield?
Wethersfield. Yep.
Wethersfield. You give me a lot of like blue collar vibes from what you put on the I won't go to TikTok to look it up. I'm gonna figure it out myself. I'm good with my hands.
Yeah.
You grew up on a farm?
Not on I grew up working on a
Working
farm.
on farms.
Yeah.
So you always had work ethic. Let's go through your childhood and as I go through each segment, I want you to put me through the world that you grew up in. How old are you, Joe?
35.
You're 35. Yeah. Bring me to your childhood, what it was like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to explain that my sister and I had everything we needed and most of what we wanted. A good childhood, both parents, a lot of love, a lot of care. They were always presents under the tree. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And just a really good family, a tight-knit family. And I'm certainly grateful for that. And I know it's a gift to have something like that. Not only all of that, but a family that all gets along too. So my cousins, everything like that. It is a gift, and I recognize that.
You mentioned a couple things, but I wanna know, because you said between ages of 19 and 22, you had dealt with what you defined as crippling addiction.
Yes.
I know a lot of addicts. I grew up around a lot of people who had addictive tendencies. Some really close, and very much like you outline very, very loving family. Presence under the tree. Kind of had what you would think a picture perfect childhood.
Yeah, like why did I become an addict?
Correct.
The math doesn't add up.
Right. And I think that's a big, because honestly, most times that's what I would allude to. Like, oh, what was the family dynamic like? And, whether there wasn't a presence of love or, father not in the household or a lot of volatility. In this brief, discussion, it doesn't sound like it. Where to go left?
It's with addiction, depending on what you talk about, who you talk to, or what you read, it is a disease. And it's classified as one. And that's why people, a lot of people are like, why can't you just stop? Why can't you just stop? You lost your kids, you lost your job, but you still keep going back to it. It's a disease and it's classified that way. And I didn't really know what that meant. Especially when I was younger, I was just having fun. The difference is like not a lot of my friends, like fun was going out to the bar, drinking beer, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, everything I did. But like I just went further. I remember I had a instance in my life where my grandmother passed away. And when I was at the wake, I found out that a very important, special person in my life had taken their own life at my grandmother's wake.
At the wake.
Someone came up to me,
Told
said,
you
"Hey,
that.
I just want you to know so-and-so did this." And I remember the next day, I tried cocaine. And the moment I tried that, I'm like, I found what I've been looking for. Like, it was like, this is it. It was like this experience.
Did you always feel like something was missing before that? Like,
I think
leading up into that moment?
It's more of just wanting, like, more.
Yes.
What's next?
Yes.
But, you know, to go back to, like, addiction and being an addict and things like that, you know, even growing up feeling less than, right? Low self-esteem, wanting to fit in, wanted to be accepted. And this is not, I can't identify things from my past that make, you know, like from early childhood that, you know, I remember like in elementary school, it was wintertime and there was fog on the window of the bus and I wrote the word ass.
Who didn't?
Who didn't?
Yeah, right.
But I got in trouble. I got caught. Yeah. I got walked off the bus and I felt really embarrassed. Like everyone's looking at me. I got in trouble. But like that's the only time I could really remember.
How'd your parents handle that?
Oh, it was no big deal.
Yeah,
I don't even think they knew about it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think they like. For me, it was like I was really embarrassed, and that's probably like the first time I could remember to where, like it just like something bad happened.
Felt yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Ashamed. That kind of stuff. I was 8 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it shouldn't mean anything, but it did.
Yeah. Like,
or at least long term it did, right?
Yeah. You know, like as a child, like no trauma, no abuse, none of that, which is a lot of what you hear of people's stories, you know, but I didn't experience any of that. So I can't identify with that. Sure. But for me, it's like, well, why did I choose to use drugs and ruin my fucking life?
Yeah.
You know? And I believe, you know, it's just I'm an addict. I have an addict brain. It's wired differently. And that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Because the more I try to dissect it and figure it out, like I've been clean 12 years.
Congratulations.
Now. Thank you. Yeah. And like, I don't need to reverse engineer why. Like that was back then. You know, today there's things I do to continue living the life that I have, which is clean and being of service to others, to folks that need help. Because look, you and I know a lot of people that need it,
sir.
But it's a lifestyle for people that want it, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
So.
Bring me back, because I feel like there was a little bit of relevance, but bring me back to the moment when you're at your grandmother's wake and somebody had told you that someone close to you had committed suicide. Why that connection, do you think? And what do you remember most about? Because I feel like again, I try to overanalyze things, and I always try to connect the dots. You know, I go through things in life, and you know, I'll share something throughout this episode. But I go through things in life and I try to connect the dots. Like, you know, you mentioned the 8-year-old self writing ASS on the window, and that was a core memory for you. I've recently I'm going to therapy now for some just personal things that I think is necessary.
Which I believe everybody.
Yeah. It's good.
Therapy.
It's really good.
Nothing needs to be wrong.
No, right. Well, right. So like, there's nothing wrong in the sense of, but you know, I like to. I'm starting to unpack layers of myself.
Sure.
One of the things I've been doing is just journaling, and I was just brain dumping every core memory I possibly could, because there's a lot of things I don't remember, or at least just not at the top of the memory. So I start jotting down names of people, places, things, baseball, because I was a big baseball player, and that was a big role in my life. You know, relationships, family members, and I'm jotting things down, and I'm starting writing names, and I write down a cousin's name and there was immediate, like within seconds, rage. I got so mad, so angry. And there's other things in my life that happened that I checked emotionally that are probably a little bit worse than some of the stuff that I went through with this cousin, but I had checked that already addressed it. I didn't realize how much pain and anger I had towards this person until I wrote down his name, and it brought back every possible memory. When you talk about your grandmother, what do you remember most about her? Because it seems like there was a little bit of emotional connection from that wake to what led up to the first time you used cocaine.
Yeah, just tremendous sadness. Like, if I can identify what I felt in that moment. First of all, 18. I was 18, and she's my grandmother, right? Like, we love our grandmothers and grandfathers. Yeah. So it was and I had lost grandparents when I was younger, but I think being a little bit older, being a little bit more mature, it was more of I'm like, wow, this is real life, and yeah, just, it was a sad time. I remember being in the nursing home with her, and like, I was putting, the dots together. And I'm like, she's probably not going to make it.
Were you guys close?
Yeah. Yep. And in that moment, being in the wake and then hearing the news, the person was a father figure to me also. Somebody I looked up to, somebody I wanted to be like, And I just remember just the feeling of, like, first of all, like, what's happening? Second of all, like, anger. Like, why? We always ask why. Sometimes we don't know why. And this desire to, like, just be, just like, go. Like, just like, go.
Yeah.
I can't really explain
whatever
it.
happens. It's kind of like a.
You know what it was? It was pain, loss, sadness, grief, and anger all wrapped into one. And
that happened really fast.
Really fast. And I said, I need to figure out a way to not feel this.
Did you tell anybody that you were feeling like that? Did you tell your parents, like, hey,
I couldn't even identify what that all meant.
Right.
I was like, I'm 18. A lot of addiction and being an addict is changing the way you feel.
Sure.
Not being able to handle emotions or feelings or even make sense of them. So changing the way you feel using, mind-altering substances. I mean, look at alcohol. The country and society is obsessed with alcohol.
Yeah.
Obsessed. And I'm not, like, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people that drink are bad people.
Right.
I'm not at all.
Totally get it.
But, like, you ever met somebody that just feels that they just can't do something without it?
Yes.
And, like, that's, like, why?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they're an alcoholic.
Right.
I don't want to sound like I judge. It's just something I don't do. So we change the way we want to change the way we feel. So the next day, I was like, what's next? Right. Smoke some weed, alcohol. Like, there's got to be more.
Yeah.
And then it just happened.
Yeah.
I located it, and I found it. Everything went away.
Wow.
Like, it just, like, I was like, like, what? Who passed away?
Right.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I felt like I found what I was looking for. That
false sense of
solved the
peace.
problem.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
who's around you during this time, ages 19 to 22? I'm a big believer, at the very least, if there's not, and again in this discussion, if there's not a why from a family standpoint, there's influence around you. There's people, places, and things that are around you. Who are you hanging out with? Who are you growing up with that introduced you to this stuff, or things like that? Like, I've talked about it on my last episode. I got introduced to weed pretty young, but I didn't mess around with it until I got a little bit older. But who's around your life that's influencing you that's not telling you no. You know, obviously you're an adult, but 18, you can't get alcohol until you're 21. You know, drugs on the street, that's always been something. Who's around you during this time?
By way of like friends or
Yeah,
family?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
anybody?
Both.
Well, I was a senior in high school,
Yeah,
right? So senior year.
sure.
Um, just most of the friends
Mm.
in high school. But then once I had found the narcotic, the
Mhm.
cocaine,
Mhm.
not all those kids were doing it. So not only did I find something that took away the pain and the feelings, but I found something that I guess made me feel cooler.
Yeah.
You know, which is an illusion, but it's like, oh,
Are you doing it with people or are you doing it with
yeah,
by
yeah,
yourself?
with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a few people,
Sure.
other people that were doing it as well. But see, what happens is, because it like from that day, it was like every single day,
Mm.
and you know,
For
it's
how
like,
long?
till I first got in trouble, which was in the fall of 2008. But it was like every single day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you think, well, how do you pay for this? Well, remember, I grew up working, so I had plenty of money.
Yeah, man. So you're
At that age,
functioning, doing this.
functioning.
That's crazy.
Functioning and not even knowing there's a problem. I'm just like, well, you know, it's like, it was part of the routine,
Mm-hmm.
like clockwork, because it became summertime. And during the summer is when I worked. I worked throughout the summer. And it was like morning, lunch break, go to the plug and get it, finish the day, nighttime, go. But I didn't identify it as a problem.
Sure.
I was like, I'm
You're
having
chilling,
fun,
man.
dude.
You're having a good time. Yeah.
All the problems went away.
Yeah.
But I remember looking at a picture from my graduation party that we had, and I was like, man, I was skinnier.
Mm.
Because here's the deal: we're the last people to know.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
People around us can.
Are you? Is there any inkling of inside of you that you're like, yo, this is kind of, I'm kind of tripping out, but like anything going on inside of you that are like, I know this is wrong. Like, you know, maybe spending a little bit too much money, or like I'm starting not to like how I feel. I mean, I've never done cocaine, so I don't know the feeling of that. Is there anything like that that's going on in you?
Certainly not minutes after you take it.
Well, sure, I'm sure you're like, yeah, let's
Certainly
go.
not at
Let's
that
go.
point.
Yeah,
But first of all, it's illegal.
you're right.
You know, I'm not talking about it over dinner with my family.
Yeah,
You know, like, hey, look at this new hobby I found.
that's what.
So yeah, I knew something was wrong. I didn't identify it as a problem until I got in trouble. But throughout like that summer and going into school, I was like, I am having trouble not doing this. But I was like, but I could stop whenever I want. I'll stop tomorrow. Right. And tomorrow
Never
doesn't
came.
come
Yeah.
because like I didn't even know about the addiction part, you know, the physical and mental addiction part. I just was like, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, but I there was part of me that recognized that something's getting a little bit out of control.
So that was my next question. When you realize you're not in control, what happens? What's going on next? Like, you know, 19 to you said 19 to 22. Who are you sitting with? Who identified it? What's going on? What's the next move for you?
Well, I was using cocaine,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know what was ahead, right? Because it wasn't the cocaine that really brought me to my knees.
Sure.
It was opiates,
Mm.
right? You hear the story a lot. Somebody has a injury and they get put on OxyContin, right? But guess what? Like that prescription stops at some point, and now they're like, "Man,
They need it.
I'm addicted.
Right.
I feel terrible. I need this stuff." But for me, I was introduced to it, pills, and then I felt like, man, I really found what I was looking for.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. The cocaine was like, your ABCs, like easy, the Bush League.
Yeah.
Right. So then I find this, and then like, doing it with one person, because none of my other friends were doing it.
Sure.
Matter of fact, at that point, a lot of them probably distanced themselves
From you.
from me.
Wow.
Just because. But remember, 19 years old, like a lot of them were at college anyway, right? And but I wasn't. I started to go to school up in Rhode Island, but I got in trouble and I got arrested. So I kind of like took a step back. But like I wish that was the end of my.
But it wasn't.
No,
No.
not even close. That was like I wish I could say it was a wake up call, but it wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Why wasn't it?
Because once I found opiates,
It just kept
well,
snowballed.
yeah. I was.
Was there when you think back before 18 years old or younger, was there anything that you were relying on, and not in the sense of drugs, but was there video games all the time? Was it? I mean, you said you were working out and you do a lot. You were good with your hands, but like, was there anything like that you were just that you were getting that dopamine hit that you get with cocaine and any other drug, really?
No, because I think at that point I didn't understand that I was even looking for something. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Man, that's nuts. So okay, so you get arrested. It doesn't stop. What's going
No.
on? Like, what happens next?
Well, a lot of people say they dropped out of college, but I used to call it I withdrew.
You withdrew.
Because drop out is a bad word.
It sounds good. It sounds good.
But I withdrew
Yeah.
because I just I couldn't. First of all, I don't even know if I really liked it. I'm just I'm going there.
Sure.
I went up to school, not like a college, but a tech college, a technical school. But I was like, I don't know if that's really what I want to do anyway. I think really what I was doing was I was making way for nothing to get in the way of like this path I wanted to go on.
Sure. What did you want to do? What was Joe's in his mind at, young boy before going into college, before going into all of this? What was your destination and, had planned? Like for me, I wanted to play professional baseball. Didn't happen, obviously. But, there's, as young kids, as young men, there's aspirations. What was that for you?
Honestly, for me, I went to New England Tech for boat mechanics because I love boats, love being on the water. It goes back to like working with my hands. I always, like growing up, I always would take things apart, figure out how they work, and put them back together. And so that's like how my brain works. I'm always, like an engineer.
Sure.
So that's what I want to do. I didn't really have a path. I knew I was a good worker. I knew that I knew how to show up and go above and beyond. I knew all that. But honestly, at that point, I had no real path. I'm just like, this is what I'm going to do.
Just trying to figure it out.
Just figure it out. Yeah.
What saved you
from
your addiction?
What saved me?
Yeah.
The pain got great enough. The pain got great enough.
So you hit rock bottom.
Yeah. But here's the deal with rock bottoms. There's always a trap door.
Is there?
You think that's it, but because a lot of times as I was in rehab and things
Sure,
like that,
sure.
they're like, well, hey, this is your rock bottom. And like, if only it was, because a lot of things we would talk about is like the yets.
Yeah.
Right. Like, well, I didn't, I wasn't homeless, so I'm not that bad yet.
Right.
I didn't,
Damn, bro, that's crazy. That's such a crazy mindset, and I can kind of relate in other areas in life. It's like, oh, it's not, it's not that bad yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You haven't gotten arrested. You will.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
and I don't want to like that's just
yeah.
in
No,
the
I totally get
circles
it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
People would come in, say, oh, it wasn't that bad. And look, like, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to get that bad.
Right.
Right. You
Yeah.
don't have to experience the things
Sure.
that other people do. And that's the thing with like pain and trauma. And, a lot of times you hear, oh, you didn't have it as bad as me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like if the worst thing that happened to me was like I lost my dog when I was 12 and that ruined my life.
Yeah.
And that was the worst thing that happened to me.
Then it's as bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But then somebody might have got abused as a child.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I think the world can agree that the abuse, even if it's sexual, is bad.
Right.
And somebody could say, well, you lost a dog.
Right.
That's not worse than what I've been. But if that's their worst pain,
Mm-hmm.
that's all they know is pain.
Yes.
So it's like it doesn't mean that somebody, like that's their experience,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their experience. You can't
Right.
judge and say, well, you got to, strengthen up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let that go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all they know.
So that moment when you get in trouble for writing on the wall on the bus, do you feel like that was a moment where society tried to put an identity on you,
No.
like a troublemaker or a?
No, I think I just realized like, oh, I did something bad.
Yeah.
And I got caught.
Yeah.
And I just was like trying to be cool and funny, which kind of goes back to like the deep-seated desire to be liked and accepted.
Yeah.
Right? Like do something for a reaction.
Yes.
And it backfires.
Mm.
I was like, shit.
Yeah.
This didn't go how I wanted to.
Right. That, I have this thought, like I've also been someone who really liked attention. Playing sports. I think playing college sports is where I kind of stepped into an identity.
Mm-hmm.
I felt cool. Obviously there's women that get involved.
Sure.
You're at the parties and, I went from a freshman at parties that no one knew. And once I stepped on the baseball field for the rest of my career at playing college baseball, everybody knew me. So you feel validated.
It's huge.
It's wild, man.
You're like somebody.
Yeah. It's an insane feeling that I think, in my opinion, actually is a false identity based off of that. Because I mean, what did that really do for me? But
what happened when you weren't?
So I clinged on to it for so long. And as life goes on, like you have that part of your identity or part of what you think that's still your identity. And then, no one gives a shit. Like no one gives a shit that you play baseball and the people that you're with, no one cares. And it's like, well, then actually who am I? And, it takes a lot. I say this a lot on my show when I like to break life. I'm 36. I like to break life into kind of 3 different segments of life, from ages, 0 to 10, that's a season, 10 to 20, another season, 20 to 30. Now, I'm on like my 4th season of life.
Sure.
Those first 20 years, you don't really know anything, man.
Nothing.
And
you think you do.
Right. And even like the years, the 20 to 30, you feel like you kind of are understanding life but you really don't. I think now in my 30s and, mid 30s now, having 3 kids and whatnot, it's easier to kind of look back and really now, I feel like now I know what my identity is. Now I know what I'm called to be. I'm interested in when you start rehabbing and you are making these changes and going through the setbacks. How are you? Because I mean, addiction is tough, man. Like I said, I've seen it, I've heard it, different scales, opioids, all sorts of things. Walk me through your, if you can, walk me through your healing process and what that looked like for you.
Well, we certainly haven't even scratched the surface about where it took me. But I think for me, like I said, I needed the pain to get great enough. I needed that bottom. And for me, that was being somewhere where I really had no other choice but to sit still in a place that I like to call college, because all my other friends went to college.
Mhm.
And so did, matter of fact, that's the joke in my family, college.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
leave it at that.
I gotcha.
And I think it makes sense.
What did you learn in college?
I learned that things can be taken away from you. I learned that time is very important. Our time we have. I also learned that I am, a good person, that I made mistakes. Because look, when in a place like that, wanting to improve your life and do better and do the right thing and never come back, if like that mindset is kind of going against the grain,
Sure.
right? Because like if I'm planning when I'm at college to do things again upon return that brought me there in the first place, like that's cool. That's accepted. And that's why people keep going back and forth. So I knew that, like, look, if I, like, this place will always be here for me,
Right, right.
right? They'll welcome me back.
That's an interesting perspective.
They will.
Yeah.
And I've been clean over 12 years now, but I'm not exempt either.
Right, right.
From making a poor decision and experiencing that
Sure.
again. But what I learned was, like, I needed to make some changes. I needed to address some things that I might not even be aware of why I was doing the things I was doing. Because you would think, like, for me, so you go to rehab for 30 days, get out, and then use drugs the next day. Like, that defies logic.
Right. So when you're in rehab, are you just waiting for the day you get out to?
Before I actually stopped.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're in a place like that, and it's, you're like 28 days off drugs. You get some weight back on. You feel good.
I was just saying, you feel good. So
you feel good. Yeah. There's some light in your eyes. But when I was there, I wasn't really, I didn't really address really what the problem was.
Which was?
First of all, I didn't know about addiction as a disease. I was ashamed to, like, say, man, I have a problem.
Right.
I need help. It's shameful, right? Because I really had 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like, all my friends, right, they're out doing 21-year-old things, and I'm in rehab. So it's this shame feeling, like I'm missing out. I should be out there doing that stuff, but I'm not. So for me, it was like, I just need to, like, take this break, recenter, refocus, and then get back out and do okay. But for me, it's like, I wasn't like, oh, I need to go back out and go to the bars. Like, I go up to Hartford and buy heroin and, like, get high again.
It's crazy.
One day out of rehab. So I say that to say, addiction defies logic, right? Like, a normal person would say, why would you do that? You just got out. Why would you go right back to it? And, like, because it defies logic, And so when I finally, was able to take a extended pause, I heard a message of hope for me. And the message of hope came from other people that took time out of their lives to come and share their story of how they got clean and improved their life. And at this point, my self-doubt was, like, up here because of my experiences, and my self-esteem was down here. So, like, I would feel that's great. Congratulations that you did it.
Yeah.
But I'm not not me,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't believe in myself, blah, blah, blah. But I got that message of hope that I too can get and stay clean
Right.
this time,
Right.
So I really latched onto that because I look around what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
I'm literally at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
But something also happened within me too. I think when I say the pain got great enough, I'm because I just lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, my parents were we're done helping you.
Got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because what do you what else do you do? It's this kid keeps going in and out and in and out. And by the way, causing a lot of harm to the people that I love the most and support me the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens within that, right? Whether it's drugs or alcohol, it's always the people that you love the most that are closest to you that, get the brunt of it.
I like to, there's, even in my career, 10 years in insurance, there's always people that are like, yo, you have all the potential in the world to be this, and this, the best in the company, best insurance agent. Even with this, people are like, the podcast that keep going with it. You never know what happens. People see potential in what you do and what you want to accomplish. Was anybody that saw potential in you as you're going through this that you look back and say, man, thank you?
Everybody.
Yeah.
I was a good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what's hard about that is at some point, potential or not, it's well, he keeps fucking stealing from me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I love you, but now it's time to love you from a distance.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had all the love and support. I was lucky.
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough. And that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter, right?
What emotions are going through you when you're at college? Or what do you remember feeling as you're going through?
Anger.
Yeah. At yourself?
Yeah. Just at the situation.
Yeah.
Guilt, shame, embarrassment, hopelessness. But within that, there was a feeling of change happening for me because I'm 22. I've done all this stuff. Something needs to change, and I think I am willing to move toward I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to take suggestions, and I'm willing to practice humility, and I'm willing to practice acceptance.
What's that look like? I think that's the key. If there's anything that I want anyone to listen to is I'm willing to be humble and I'm willing to accept. I think those are one of the biggest drivers in change in life in general, not just addiction. Anything. I mean, you could be addicted to just being on the couch all day and being lazy, but obviously with what you're going through, what specifically around those two things?
Well, humility is the practicing being humble. Humility for me was asking for help. I don't have all the answers. I can't do this alone.
Ego.
You got to eliminate the ego, right? Because if I'm unwilling to ask for help and admit I need help, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Which is hard as a man too.
For sure.
Pride, ego. But at this point, my life depended on it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was going to die. As a matter of fact, remember everything that I had been through? I shouldn't be here, so to speak.
Sure.
From overdoses and very dangerous situations around where I bought drugs and drug dealers and gangs and guns and, when I would walk around, Park Street in Hartford, like I was a mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm a clean cut white dude.
Yeah, right.
And like I don't care what anybody says. Like profiling exists.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Yes, it does.
So I was in very dangerous situations, you know, and back to the question about how, you know, humility and acceptance. Well, like I needed to admit, like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stay stopped, and I need help. And they say, you know, a closed mouth doesn't get fed, right? Like there's all kinds of sayings out there. But I think for me, it was I was willing to listen and do something different. And then acceptance, you know, acceptance is for me is sometimes easy and sometimes hard because there's whatever you believe in, there's God's will, but then there's my will.
Sure.
So it's easy for me to accept things. There's a prayer called the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, like, accept the things I cannot change. Okay, so I accept that I got into some trouble. I accept that I missed out on my college years when all my friends were doing college things and I wasn't. I accept that I caused harm. I accept that, like, I now have some things that may follow me around. But it's not always easy because I have to accept things I don't like. I have to accept things, even today, right? Like, there's things I have to accept. There's something right now I need to accept. And it's hard. But, like, I don't know. I think it just takes, like, what's out of my control?
Yeah.
What am I powerless over?
Yep.
I'm powerless over people, places, and things, right? I'm powerless over what you think of me. I'm powerless over if on the way home today, I get somebody rear ends me, right? The quicker that I can accept things I'm powerless over, because I just want peace. The more peace I have, right? Like I can, if I get rear-ended, well, I could spend 10 minutes bitching about you didn't see me. Now I got it, but it's like it happened.
Right.
I got a dent in the back of my car. How do I want the rest of my day to go?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think acceptance, practice when practiced, for me, I just achieve more peace.
Is that something that you do daily? Like, is it, because it's funny that you say that. I was on not Bank Street. I was on the parking lot right behind Bank Street in New London and heading towards Bank Street. And I turned left and this girl stops. She had main license plate and there was a car right behind me. So she was trying to turn left into the parking lot. She starts backing up, doesn't see me and backs into me. And my initial thought was like, man, like how? Like, and I got to get my hair cut. I got a show I got to do tomorrow. Like, I need this haircut. Like, I'm busy. It's a busy day. But then I was like, man, like, it was an accident. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that the more you do that, the easier it gets in life. Like, I'm the same, control the controllables is what my boss says, or my boss's boss says. Why put the energy into something that you can't change? And that makes it easier. I try. I know you said that there's a lot to unpack about, your story, but I kind of want to move along in the journey of who you become when you start changing. You mentioned some faith-based stuff. Is that part of your healing process, relying on faith and kind of going through the addiction process and coming out of it?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I rely on, a power greater than myself, right? Because I can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all I got. I remember when I finally got clean after, spending all this time away, like I had finally gotten out, and it was like, 6 weeks. I'd been back for like 6 weeks, and like all of a sudden, and this is really important too about addiction being a disease, and why some people have it and why some people don't, and why it just doesn't fucking make sense. I had the desire to get high, the desire to use.
When you left.
Yes. And there's a point, there's like a threshold, like in my brain in the past, like when I made that decision, like I know where to go. I know what to do. It's hard to come back. It's hard to stop because it just gets you, right? Now, a normal person would be like, why?
Right.
Like explain that to me. You want to go do something again that ruined your life,
Right.
quite frankly. And I'm like, yeah. So I made that decision. But, I made a phone call to somebody. And that's what, like, I learned is like, humble yourself. Like, ask for help, right? So I called somebody. I was like, hey, like embarrassed to say it. Hey, like, I want to go get high. Like, it was a Friday. I started working again. I had some money. Like, I had the plan. Cash my check.
Man, the pattern, that's just a pattern though, right? Like it literally just kind of, you just snap back into, wow.
Like
wow.
I did, didn't stop.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't been where I just was for a long time.
Jeez. So that's amazing, man. I never thought about addiction in that sense. I mean to cut you off, but like not doing it for so long, but then you back into reality, like, and something in your brain like triggers you to be like, oh yeah, no, here we go. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
It's cunning, baffling, and powerful.
That's insane.
That's what it is.
That's insane.
But to tie in the faith or the spiritual part of it, like I made that phone call and I was like, I'm going to go get high. Like I'm going. There's nothing that could stop me. Like my parents, my friends. I talked to this person for like 30 minutes and I don't even remember what we talked about. I don't. All I know is that desire to use went away and has never come back.
That's because you never did that before.
Ever. No.
And that was the first time that you did that.
Yeah. You know why? Because I was practicing humility.
Wow.
And I was practicing doing something different.
Yeah.
And like, look, you could split hairs about it and go further, but like, I believe that my God made it possible for that person to be able to answer the phone in that time where I was going.
Yeah.
I was going.
Yeah.
I remember it.
That's
I made the choice.
Yeah, the church says amen.
That's right. Yeah. So like, something was looking out for me, right? Because what if he didn't answer the phone? What if, whatever. Wow. So I just, and that was the first experience for me to realize like, there's something happening. There's something out there, right? Because some people will say, well, he answered the phone.
Right.
You called him and he answered the phone.
It's not a coincidence.
But it's like my perspective had to change.
Yeah.
My attitude had to change. Like this happened because something was looking out for me.
That moment saved your life.
I wouldn't, if he didn't answer the phone, I wouldn't be here. I'm convinced of that. I wouldn't have the life I have today. I'd probably be dead, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And I believe that.
Yeah.
And other folks could look at it without that lens on and say, well, like he answered the phone. He wouldn't have been dead.
Yeah.
I would have been dead.
No, there's something divine in that for sure. And I believe that.
And that's for me to believe and no one else to understand.
Yeah. Period.
So I look at things a lot. I mean, I could tell you stories about like why I should not be here during my active use, and like I shouldn't. That a lot of how I try to live my life is based off of gratitude also. So for me, knowing all those things and what experiences I had been through, everything else, like I'm alive.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bonus.
Wow.
And I try to focus on that every day. Like I have a good life. I have a great life. I have great relationships with my family, friends, great career, a beautiful house. I have all the things. But if I didn't have them, just being alive would be okay. It's like I've been overpaid, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is a
And
beautiful
it's just from
perspective.
gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that.
That's a beautiful
And that's
perspective.
important.
Yeah, I love that.
And living that way.
Yeah. I want to talk about a little bit of, when you start feeling great, your career into real estate. Talk a little bit about your acting. It's funny that you were like earlier in your life where you're like, I wanted to be the cool kid and whatnot, and how, acting is part of your life. I think about a year ago now, there was a movie that you had announced that it was hitting Amazon.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So let's go through where real estate entered your life. Did that continue your journey in winning? Because now you're accomplishing things. You had the moment of making that phone call, which again I think is a beautiful moment, because the guy picks up, person, I don't know, guy, girl, whoever, picks up and interferes with what could have been divine intervention in you being here, not being here. Where's real estate enter? Why real estate? And what keeps you grounded day to day from making sure that you recognize yourself as still an addict, right? Recovering addict. I think that's key. I think that, and again, I don't know because I haven't dealt with it. I think I do have some tendencies, but nothing of that magnitude. Bring me to that part of your life.
So we call maintenance for maintaining, staying clean. I'm involved with other folks that are doing the same thing. And the whole point is to, what we like to say is giving back what was so freely given to me. There is no greater joy that I've experienced than being part of somebody else who finds the hope, gets clean, and changes their life. And look, I'm not a doctor, but being of service in that way, like I've been able to save somebody's life.
Yeah.
Just like that guy did.
Really?
He wasn't a doctor either.
Really?
And I don't mean like I, perform surgery or CPR. I said, hey, you know what? Like, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to help you. And I want you to know that like everything's going to be okay. And here's a little bit about my story, right? Oh, you got arrested and you feel so much shame and you can't stop. Well, get a load of this.
Guess what?
This is what I did.
I went to college.
Yeah, exactly. And look, like life's good because what I learned is that I was given a new past. And what that means is like, I don't have to worry about everything that I did. I don't have to be embarrassed about it. I don't have to feel shame around it because ever since I made the decision to change, like now I have a past worth talking about. And guess what? That previous past is a tool to help and be of service to others.
Sure.
Because I could talk about that at any time.
Yeah. Did you believe? You said my God earlier. Did you believe in God previous to your experience?
No.
No.
I always believed that there was something.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like care to learn. I didn't have a desire to learn about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I needed to change my thinking. I needed to change my perspective. Like there's got to be. If I look around at my life today, like there is something looking out for me.
For sure.
And not just because I'm clean, but all the gifts that have come with it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of great things, right? But the most important thing for me is like what's changed up here and in here.
Wow.
And that comes from we could read all the self-help books we want, but I believe that it's got to, come from within. And I was willing to believe that in something else too.
Yeah, there's a Bible verse that says, "Be not conformed by the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind."
Right.
And it sounds like that's what you went through.
Yeah. I had to. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You know.
So real estate enters your life. How long you been a realtor now?
5 years.
5 years. So it's not that long. Just around COVID.
Yeah.
Why?
I started during COVID. So I was living out in California.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, and COVID had shut down the industry.
Remember that?
Yeah. And so I moved back home. A really good friend of mine, who is my team leader, Bill Heenan, told me, he's like, "You should give it a try. You'd be great." And I have an extensive sales background. I have a construction background. So like, what better, route to take than that? Because I'm coming in with all this experience already. And I actually sold my first house on my first day licensed.
Nice, bro. That's fire.
And it worked out that way.
Yeah.
But like, once I did that, I'm like, this could work.
Yeah.
But translating into my other life experiences, like the greatest thing I can do is be of selfless service to others.
Yeah.
Selfless. That's the important part. And, not expecting anything in return. So I kind of use that to be like, just wanting to help people. And I treat it like I was taught, like it's not about the deal. It's not about the deal, right? Because people can sense your intention.
100%.
They sense your intention. So I was taught just to go out in my previous sales experience and just make a new friend. That's all it is. So I treat it as making new friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to, like, you want help? Let's do it. And get to know people and just be of service.
Yeah.
So.
And that's interesting. That's another takeaway I get from this is that you went through some really hard stuff previous to, and I don't know what your life was like in LA, but when you think of that part of your life and then transitioning into real estate, it's like, this isn't that bad. A no means nothing. Like no's don't mean anything to me.
The film industry is full of rejection and it's just thick skin. But like, I don't go into things with an expectation.
Sure.
And I think that's important. Like with me, I'm like I'm not worried about how's this going to go. I'm like, I'm showing up. I'm being kind. I'm being helpful. I'm being of service. I'm practicing gratitude just for the opportunity. And that just helps me be successful.
Yeah.
Like it's not magic. I can go and, try all these things. A lot of people are trying all these. It's like, oh, what's going to work now?
Right.
A crystal bath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work. So let me go on a journey. Like I think with today's day and age, there's so much.
People are looking for external rewards.
People are just looking.
Yeah.
They're just looking.
Yeah.
And just not maybe just a little bit lost.
Yeah, I think
I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with it.
I really believe that, we are, and we'll just use what we've talked about in this discussion, the addiction, the cocaine, the drugs, even me, marijuana, beer, things like that. Like it's a external fix that I think that you mentioned, it's God's will, but I also have my will. I believe, that my will is God's will kind of thing, right? Even though
because you're aligned.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what people don't do and generalize, I'm not trying to generalize, I don't want people to get mad at me for this, but like search within yourself. Yeah. And I'm really finding that through therapy. I'm finding that through the journaling experience. Like I would have never known I had that much anger about somebody who bullied me when I was 10 years old. Like a family member. Like I didn't know that. I cried to my wife that night. Like I literally was like, yo, like, and I wasn't crying because I got bullied. I cried because like I felt
you released it.
But I felt so much anger. I was like, yo, I didn't know I had that much in me. So I think people don't realize like search inside, and however that looks, it
Mhm.
might not be the crystal baths or whatever, but like, don't use the substance to try to find that, in my opinion. Talk to me about the acting piece, man. Like, I think that's cool that there was a movie. Have you been in other movies? Was it just that one? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what,
Yeah.
like,
So I didn't do in high school. I wasn't in theater.
mhm,
I wasn't drawn to it.
mhm,
But what I learned was I was very interested in human behavior.
mhm,
How we get what we want and what we do to get it. So I was like, well, acting is you get a script and you need to, like, that's what it is.
mhm,
Like, I got a script. It's like the why,
mhm.
the what. What do you want? How are you going to get it?
Yeah.
And that's what I learned is what it's about. So like, I was like, oh, that could be fun.
Mhm,
So I answered a Craigslist ad. They needed an actor.
mhm.
I didn't have a resume. I didn't know what I was doing, but I went.
Yeah.
I showed up, and I didn't get that role, but they liked me, so they wrote another role in for something that helped the story. And they said I did a really good job.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. So I kept doing it and kept doing it. And I would book little gigs here. I did actually something, which was really cool for me, which told me that I was on the right track
Mhm.
and I was doing okay.
Yeah.
I booked a commercial in Massachusetts about opiate addiction.
Oh.
And it was about how they don't tell you about all the bad, dirty things that are going to happen
Sure.
within that. And, for me, I was like, wow, out of hundreds of people, like, I booked this
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm going to get to go and it's going to be on TV, and that was really cool for me.
Yeah.
I really felt a sense of pride, accomplishment, but I felt mostly like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then, I moved out to LA, and just because I knew that if I didn't, I'd regret it. And I went, and I got an agent, I did all that, been to the Hollywood parties, celebrities. COVID shut it down, but I realized it's not, it just, the culture of the industry really wasn't for me,
Mhm.
because I'm not going to try to be something I'm not to be accepted.
Well, and at this point, you moved back in 2020. How long were you in LA?
A year.
You were there, so you
Yeah.
left in like 2018, 2019. So
20, yeah. March of 2020, I was back home.
So you're what, 5 years or so clean? Maybe a little bit longer, 7 years, 7, 8 years.
2013 is when I got clean.
So your spirit senses, the soul senses, like, this environment's not exactly where I should be.
Yeah.
Well, obviously COVID, put you back here, but I've gone through things in life more recently that I can now identify when it's me, my mind, let's just call it, the way I'm thinking, and then when it's God. Like I know that, like, when I insert myself in a situation, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. They call that conviction in the Bible. The Holy Spirit. It sounds like that little bit, like that kind of going on, maybe a little
Well,
bit.
quite frankly, I knew I didn't want to be there after 2 months.
Oh wow.
Well, I was like, I did this like because I wanted to,
Yeah.
and I could.
Yeah.
And I said, if I don't, maybe I'll regret it. And look, like, it was fun.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people. Did a lot of cool things. But I knew, like, I didn't. Now, not to say that I didn't belong, acting,
Mhm.
but I just didn't belong there.
Yeah.
Right. And that was okay.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the thing. Like, whatever people want to do, it's okay.
Right.
Like, but it wasn't for me.
Sure.
And like, I recognized that. And like, I didn't feel like I fit. Like, I didn't go out there to like make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to LA. I'm going to get famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
That city is full of people. That's all that matters.
Right.
Like, and I'm here to tell you that does not fix it, because I know and have met and talked to the celebrities, and it's just not the answer.
Yeah.
There's no, like, it's matter of fact, the opposite.
Yeah.
So I wasn't lured by that.
Mhm.
I just was like, I found out I was naturally good at acting, so I'm just
Just
having
try
fun.
checking it out.
So
yeah.
then I came home and my buddy was like, hey, I wrote a part for you, the lead in a film, and it's still on Amazon Prime,
That's pretty cool,
and
man.
it was fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
That's really
And
cool.
you know what? I applied the same principles to that
Mhm.
that I talked about living my life.
Mm.
And when I talk about being of service and why my story, why I'm willing to share it
Mm.
when appropriate, helps, because I was approached by somebody. We went out after doing theater. This was not that film, but this
Mhm.
was theater. And I was approached, and we went out after rehearsal, and they were drinking. I was like, oh, I don't drink. And she kept asking me, well, why don't you drink? It's just something I don't do.
Mhm.
And then the time would go on. And then she would ask again. And I said, she's got a problem
Mm.
because she keeps asking me. So at the end of the night, she said, hey, I don't know who to tell,
Wow.
but I can't stop drinking.
Wow.
And like that tells me like I have something to share.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ask her.
Do you tell this story at different platforms? Do you like speak
I do.
in front of like
Oh, yeah.
groups? Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah.
awesome, bro.
Yeah, I go into
That's amazing.
rehabs. I go into prisons, because that's my way of giving back
Yes.
what was given to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I can't keep it if I give it away.
That's amazing. That's
Right.
amazing.
Because somebody did it for me.
Right.
Changed my life.
That's
And
amazing.
if I go into a rehab full of 50 people and one person, it helps them or gives them hope, that's all.
Yeah.
Even if nobody,
Mhm.
like I showed up.
Yeah.
Because I was the guy in rehab when people would come in. I was like, I don't care. Oh, you come in here, your life's so great. You get to leave, but I'm still here. So I wasn't willing. But it's just a shift, right? Because the pain got great enough and I wanted it. So
that's amazing, man. And
Yeah.
I think that's a testament how God works.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know, man, that's beautiful to hear. What do you want? We're gonna wrap up here. What do you want? What do you want? Whoever's listening to this, however, I mean, I don't got a big audience, but I got a big enough audience that
Mm,
people are moved by stories like yours.
mm.
Whether it's 1 download or 50 downloads or 100 downloads, whatever that number is. You said just now that if it resonates with one person, if one person listens to this, what's your message to them?
That it may not be okay. As a matter of fact, it might get worse, but you'll be okay. And I learned that from a friend. It's something that I practice currently.
Mm.
Because like life is good, but we all have stuff we go through, and I'm going through something right now, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
But like I'm gonna be okay,
Mhm.
and that's what's most important.
Yeah.
And no matter what it is, like a lot of how I live my life is, we learn one day at a time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just that.
Yeah.
Like, when I got clean, like I said, I was like, I want to go get high. But, okay, well, if you don't get high today, you might tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
Like you might go get high tomorrow, but it's not here yet.
Yeah.
So just don't do it today. Focus on today. And that, does help me a lot.
Yeah.
Like one day at a time. And if I practice that and apply that to anything, it makes it easier.
I've been saying a lot lately, detach from the outcome.
Right. Yeah.
You know what the outcome is, right? Whatever it is. Like I know at the end of the year, I want to make X. I want to produce how many episodes. I want this to be this. But when you fixate on that, you forget all the little things that it takes to get there. The one day at a time. The 1% better. James Clear Atomic Habits kind of concept. Where could people find you? Obviously, I usually open up with this, but I like the stories behind the person. We can talk business and what works in your business and all that stuff, but what defines us as people in business is our story, and we learn things along the way. You know, we might approach something today completely different 5 years from now. We don't have it all figured out, but one day at a time. Maybe we could come back and unpack some other things down the road. But where can people find you and your business? I don't want to at least acknowledge and let people know that you are a realtor, you are successful, you do a lot of good things in the community. Where can people find you?
I mean, I don't, on Instagram, joe.sells.homes, which should tell you exactly what I do. Facebook, and that's pretty much it. While I do understand the importance of digital marketing, social media, I like more organic,
for sure,
face-to-face kind of stuff. And I've found success in that.
Yeah.
Because I know how to be disarming. I know how to be friendly, welcoming, warm, make people feel like that we've been friends for a long, long time. And so that's where, it happens mostly for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have the Instagram.
And I think people will gather that from this episode. I think when they listen to it, the story of humility and acceptance is probably going to stand out a lot. And
I hope it does.
And that it's not the end when it feels like it's the end. So Joe, I appreciate your time. Hour and about 15 minutes of these conversations, and sometimes they go by really fast and I don't even know it.
This has been great.
So again, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.